It appears that certain critics of a certain kind just don't like Black Adam. And I gotta be honest, I don't like a lot of these critics because they're pretty stupid. But we're gonna play a little bit fair and nice and look at some smaller critics. They've been around a while, I still think they're pretty dumb. So we're looking at Christy Lemire and Alonzo. Now, Lemire makes very clear she's a big Paul Thomas Anderson fan. That's fine, so am I. She's into French films and feminism, and believe me, she brings that up a lot. And Alonso is also kind of liberal. He's very gay. He brings that up a lot too. They're a pretty liberal sort. We're just going to get to the preliminaries because Shazam and Black Adam are complex mythologies. So I'll just keep to the basics and we'll proceed from there. Shazam is essentially a superhero where a young Billy Batson just says the word Shazam. He becomes this very noble, idealistic hero. Black Adam is very similar in terms of origin, but he took the powers and became very vengeful. He became a guardian of Kanduk. He was imprisoned. So that's the essential basics. And apparently they liked Shazam as an adaptation just fine, but had big issues with The Rock's version. But we're going to see they don't provide many good reasons. Because apparently, and this is just Basil's stupidity, she couldn't even get the creative team right and misidentified the director.
Bit of a bit. David F. Sandberg directed this, and he also did Lights Out, which was really fun. Remember that?
I did not see it. I did see Annabelle Creation.
Annabelle Creation,
which was pretty good.
I feel like you saw Lights Out.
I saw Annabelle Creation. Which movie was Lights Out?
It is the horror movie with the home invasion with the guy who is blind and the young hooligan punks break into his house because they think that he can't.
No. That's not Lights Out.
Yeah, it is.
No, that's Don't Breathe.
Oh, what's Lights Out?
Is Lights Out that's not the Natalie Dormer movie, is it? No.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to IMDb. I was so certain that I knew it. Okay, wait.
No,
Rebecca must unlock the terror behind her little brother's experiences that once tested her sanity, bringing her face to face with a supernatural spirit attached to their mother. Okay, so I'm super wrong.
Maybe I did see that.
Yeah, Don't Breathe was directed by the guy who made the Evil Dead remake.
Oh, Teresa Palmer and Maria Bello are in Lights Out. Anyway, he's made some horror movies.
Yes.
You can see my confusion, though, right? So,
well, to be fair, she did say she saw Shazam as a TV show, so she has some background knowledge. Also, to be fair, yes, it's true the Shazam creative team did have a horror background. And yes, Don't Breathe is a horror film. So, I understood what happened. She was thinking about horror, but got the horror films mixed up. And you can definitely see Alonzo's embarrassment that she kept digging her hole in and tried to say, no, I'm definitely right. And then was like, okay, guys, I'm wrong. This is a film critic who's paid by real people, and she's been in the business for over 10 years, and she got basic things wrong. And then when we get to the main course, it's also pretty damn awful, because apparently the reason they like Shazam is because, well, it's just fun and silly.
It's an acronym. It's like a bunch of Greek gods.
It's Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, and Mercury.
Yes, that sounds good to me. I didn't realize that. Anyway, this movie is just a joy. It's just fun and it's playful and it's so exciting that the DC movies keep getting more fun, right? They were known for being kind of dour, kind of self-serious, whereas Marvel would be a little more playful.
So that's it. Because Shazam is a little lighthearted, that's brilliant. But Black Adam is a little too dark, that's bad. That's it. I guess the Shazam jokes really make it such a great film. Now, I've seen Shazam. I thought it was fine.
The idea of like
bad film.
Western imperialism.
I would have
in the
to say,
Middle
though,
East.
Black Adam is very superior on many levels, from plot, performances, even the humor was a lot better. But I would be fair to say, yeah, Shazam did a lot of interesting things with the horror imagery that appear. But they did make a few errors, which magically they didn't notice. But oh, you best believe when it came to Black Adam, they were getting all kinds of crazies over very minor issues.
Pips pointed out on Twitter that in the DC cinematic universe, everybody has killed somebody at this point. Superman has killed people, and Batman and Wonder Woman. And like, it's not that much of a thing to make him stand out as it would be in the comics where they don't do that. You know?
Like Spider-Man doesn't kill people.
Exactly.
Right. So,
well, to be fair to him, as Alonzo did admit very coyly, they actually did explain a lot of things. They did tell us who the JSA was. They did it very quickly, that's true, but they did tell us.
Style has to somehow incorporate Shazam and Wonder Woman alongside, Justice League and this. So it's like it's kind of all over the map, and I'd be more willing to forgive that kind of visual sludge if I felt like this movie wasn't just like throwing things at the wall. Like, as a friend of mine on Facebook said, if you had told kid me that one day the Justice Society would be in a movie and I would yawn at it, like, the Justice Society is awesome. They've been around since before the Justice League. They go back to like World War II. They have a lot of, and they've had some really fun modern incarnations. But in this movie, they just say it like, oh, the Justice Society. I'm like, hey, could somebody, a footnote, like a line of dialogue that explains what their history in these movies are? Because they don't have one. The movie touches glancingly upon the idea of like Western imperialism in the Middle East.
We did get enough background information, I think. I would have liked more. I agree. I wish we had a little bit more with the JSA and a little bit more with Fate and Black Adam in particular, because they came out as the most fascinating characters of the whole bunch. But we have to take the story for what it is. What we're not going to do is have these weird cultural prejudices beforehand that, oh, guys, I love the feminism, I love French films, I like Japanese films, and I didn't see any of that here, so, oh my god, it's so bad. It's all these missile people, they're taking it so serious, what's going on here? And by the way, that's even empirically false, because if they watched closely and paid any attention, they do have those elements in Black Adam. There's a whole sequence which is clearly referencing Sergio Leone and Kurosawa. So, as a matter of fact, despite what they think, it's not all superficial guns and explosions and big muscle guys just beating each other up. There are nice stylistic touches referring back to this much larger cinematic context. Now, I wish it was more deep. I would agree. They didn't do that too many times. So when they do go full Kubrick or Kurosawa, it's only in a few moments. That's true, but it is there. Could have been done better. I wish they did more, but it is present. So to say that, listen, guys, I know good films, and yeah, Shazam is good, but it's just fun, silly clown time. Well, that may be your point of view, but that's not real criticism. Real criticism is we take the stories, the genre, and the director and the writers seriously to see what the mythology is. We don't prejudge it ahead of time based on political or intellectual criteria. We've got to look at the story itself and how it's been visually represented to us. Clearly, with Black Adam, you just didn't even try. You just came in with a lot of hateful prejudices, so your view was entirely worthless. But unlike some people, I am generous. I do think they had some good sections in their Shazam review. They went into the very interesting legalisms about Captain Marvel and Shazam and why he's titled a certain way. That was very valuable. And they even went into some interesting aspects of Shazam as a comic book, because Alonso did do his homework. But on the whole, their reviews are pretty worthless, because when it comes to the subject matter, they're pretty much stupid. Even when they do a little bit of homework, they still manage to get so many things wrong. And clearly, they just don't like these things. They just don't like comic books. They don't like superhero mythologies. That's fine, but if you're using outright political and intellectual prejudices to justify your lousy reviews, I'm sorry, I can't take you seriously. So I gotta say, you're not just a, quote, feminist critic, you're a really stupid feminist bitch. And I'm not saying that to be prejudicial. That's a proven fact. You proved it just now. You're really fucking stupid. I have no issue with feminism. I have no issue with feminist critics. But if you're a fucking moron, I'm not going to make excuses for you, whether you're on the right or you're on the left. Call me a simple man.
Pierce Brosnan,
The Justice Society, yes.
Yeah, and and they
Noah
individually, Noah Centineo, and then Quintessa Swindell. They are
Noah
individually Noah Centineo, and then Quintessa Swindell. They are